Hello, my name is John Watts, and I'm the senior pastor of Zionsville United Methodist Church. And our congregation has a long history in Boone County and in the town of Zionsville that has stretched all the way back to 1854. Through those years, our congregation has grown. And we've moved, we've relocated several times. And most recently, 10 years ago, we moved to our current spot in our current location to better serve the community and the people of our congregation. Now, as I said, we do have a long history, and through that history we've identified our mission as a Christian community to be lifting the human spirit, to be touched by the Holy Spirit. We also have seen recently that we have a great opportunity because in 4 years we're going to be celebrating our 175th anniversary as a congregation. We want to do something significant to honor that. And so we're going to launch a new capital campaign to completely eliminate all the debt that we have on our building and our facilities. We believe that that's going to better equip us and position us to do even more programming, more mission, and more service in our community. I've asked a couple of our church families to share a little about this congregation and what it has meant to them and their families and how it has lifted their spirit to be touched by the Holy Spirit. I'm inviting you not only to listen to their stories, but to consider how you might get involved in a capital campaign, and also to ask you to join with all of us to continue to be the kind of Christian community that will shout the gospel not just to our people, but to our community and to our world.
Good morning. Some time ago, the Indianapolis Star printed an article about a mother named Tabitha Tabor. She was 29 years old, and she and her son Ross were walking along Little Eagle Creek on a summer day. The current was strong. Tabitha stopped to speak to one of her friends, and as she did, her son walked over to the water, and although he could not swim, he decided he would walk into the water maybe up to his waist. What he did not know was that there was a 9-foot drop-off. He fell in the water, not able to swim, was swept away by the current. When his mother saw what was happening, she ran to the edge of the water, but she could not swim either. She watched for one brief moment as her son was swept away, and then she jumped into the water, and she drowned too. When I read that story, I remember staring off into space and asking myself the question, what could cause a mother to do a thing like that? But then, of course, I understood it was a mother's love. And I realized that's what Jesus did for me. Some of you read the book, The Shack, in which God comes to the main character in the person of an African-American woman. And they asked William Young, the author of the book, why he did it that way. And he said, well, after all, God is not a man or a woman, old or young. God can come to us in many ways. And I thought about the way God came to me in the person of my mother, who was a wonderful person, for me, kind of a Christ figure. And through my growing up years, she surrounded me with a saving mother's love. And I thought of that when I read about Tabitha Tabor. You know, I drive around Zionsville, I walk around Zionsville, and I see all the little kids coming from school. They're laughing, they're carrying their backpacks, they're having a great time. I see the teenagers gathering outside Starbucks or over at the mall, laughing, having fun, and I think what a wonderful thing it is to be young and to face the whole world out there. And one of the advantages of living to a good old age, and mine is good, and it certainly is old, you see how it all turns out. And what I realize is for those young people, many wonderful things lie ahead. There will be adventure, travel, wonderful achievements, accomplishments, learning. There will be new families of their own. There will be many, many wonderful things out there for those young people. But I also know this. There will be disappointment. There will be suffering. There will be moments of failure. There will be tragedy. And what I know is that those young people, as they go on through life, wherever they go, however dark the way, whatever the drowning, God will be with them, surrounding them with what I think of as a mother's love that will never leave them alone, will always lead them back out of the darkness into the light. But who's going to tell them that? Who will give them that assurance? I think it can only come from the church, from you and me and people like us, as maybe we can find many of those children coming here. But to tell that message, we must remain strong and faithful.